Pros and cons of court marriage. In the case of court marriage, everything is done according to the law. Before a wedding ceremony, applicants' personal data undergo a thorough and rigorous analysis to check probable violations or cheating. Consequently, if everything is in order, you can get a marriage certificate. If not, you will be sentenced. It means that the procedure secures both the bride and groom, and you can satisfied knowing that your spouse does not have a hidden husband or wife somewhere. Of course, you cannot live without your soulmate now, but no one knows what the future holds. Love and hate, getting married and divorced swings back and forth. Therefore, you must protect your rights in the case of marriage dissolution, and the document would help you. So provide your marriage certificate and claim the right to grab 50% of jointly acquired asset, etc. Think of your actions beforehand and act legally. Let's look at the bright side and not take into consideration such a bad scenario. Speaking of legal marriage cons, the first issue is time. Yes, it is a time-consuming process. You have to be patient and wait up to 3 months for all the paperwork to be sorted. For the warm-hearted, it can be a real torment. The other challenge for an average person is to fill in all the documents. One has to give personal data and fill in different forms. Moreover, one scariest thing is an affidavit, a so-called written notarized testimony. One mistake voluntarily and unintentionally, and you may have more serious problems with the law. Thus, it is required that you be completely honest and super accurate while completing all the papers in registry offices. We cannot omit the fact that court marriages are not free of charge. The fiancés have to pay a fee to get married according to the law. It is doubtful that this will in any way obstruct the personal happiness of the couple, but still everything must be accounted for. We hope that now you understand what court marriage in Nigeria is and how to deal with it. It is a serious step to enter into marriage. To step into a legal one is even more severe. What more can we say? Get married and be happy. The Nigerian laws will care and protect your future from any possible threat.
Welcome back. It's still Family and Values, and this morning we'll be looking at pros and cons of court marriage. And to do justice to that is a beautiful guest this morning. She's like me. When I mean she's like me, we are here to make you feel that, you know, we are one good family. Barrister Ibidunni Ladejobi. She's a senior prof, Human Resources International, and legal advisor and member of the International Bar Association. It's so good to have you here this morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I love the smile. The way you're smiling.
Catchy.
So catchy.
There's no way you see that smile.
Like you will not smile too, you know.
Thank you.
It's so good to meet you finally.
It's good to be here.
Okay.
I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for inviting me and having me.
It's
Beautiful
good.
opportunity.
It's good to have you.
Thank you. Okay, so according to law, what does a court marriage entails? What are those things that I want to go for a court marriage? I actually had a court marriage, and what are those things for people who would want to?
Okay. Let me just start from the very beginning about marriage generally. In Nigeria, we have two major kinds of marriage. We have the customary marriage, which is legal as well, and then the court or registry marriage. Now, the customary marriage is the one with the traditional marriage. Any traditional rights you do is covered by customary law. And so, because it's covered by customary law, people think that it is not a legal marriage, but it is. And to even carry out the separation or dissolution of that marriage, it is handled by the customary courts. So people that are just, you understand, they carry customary traditional rights over their wedding. If they want to separate, divorce, I call it divorce, but if they want to dissolve the marriage, they will have to go to customary court to properly, you know, there's somebody else separate. That does not mean that you can marry again. Yes. So customary court laws, which we have all over our local governments, carry out those, they hear those cases of dissolution. Now the one that people just say legal marriage, we are both legal, but just different aspects. The other part is the one covered by the Marriage Act. Now, the Marriage Act is the law that governs marriages in Nigeria, and it was first enacted in 1917. We have a 1940 law. Now, that Marriage Act covers everything about marriage, and that is called marriage under the Act. So it's meant for marriage conducted customary way, and then marriage under the Act. These are the two kinds of marriages we have. Now, with the marriage conducted under the Act, there are two aspects to it. There are places licensed to marry. According to the Constitution, the local governments have license to have marriage registries. Two license. The Marriage Act actually also recognizes the Ministry of Interior, which is like we have Korea registry. Ministry of Interior conducts. There's a federal parastatal that takes care of everything interior. So part of what they do is also the marriage. That they're involved in citizenship. So you understand, that's part of it. So that with that you can have Nigerian citizens getting married, you can have non-Nigerian citizens, both of them getting married even in Nigeria, and you can have a citizen and a non-citizen getting married. So we have different aspects for that. Now I'm just going to go generally to what does it entail for everybody. There are documents to fill, there's application to do, and as the times will have it, you can now apply online to do that. Now with the licensed place of marriage, just like they have licensed place of worship, but these ones are licensed by the Ministry of Interior to conduct marriages. You understand? So that's why you have some churches, some each mosque. They can either the Islamic marriage is considered customary, so it's covered by that. If it is in the north, it's completely dealt by Sharia courts. In the south and the east, it is covered by customary courts. Yeah, so it's considered custom. But if they want to do the one where the registry recognized, they can apply to be licensed as a place to conduct marriages. So some, not all churches, not all at all, some churches are licensed to conduct marriage. So you get the license from the registry, but then you conduct, that's like a permission, you register your intention to get married there. You tell them the place where you want to get married. They will tell you whether it's a licensed place of worship to give you the license to take there. Because you notice that in some churches they have this registry in tripartite. Yes. That's why they are able to do that, and they don't have to. The person doesn't have to repeat the registry. You understand? But many people don't know that. Now with the court one, it's the beginning of everything. It's called court because once you get married, it's not conducted in the court. It's conducted at the registry, whether at the marriage registry in the local government or at the Ministry of Interior's marriage registry. It's conducted, but the reason why it's called court wedding is because once you have done the wedding, it can only be dissolved or handled by the courts. And by court I mean the High Court, not even the Magistrate Court. You understand? So that's why it's called court wedding. But the main thing there is you apply. You have to apply. The couple will go and fill out. They can fill out an online application, and they will see the documents that they need to put inside. They have a document, your date of birth. If you're an indigene of Nigeria, you have a proof of your citizenship or where you're indigene is, whether you're Lagos indigene or anywhere else. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't mean that because you're an indigene in Lagos, you have to marry in Lagos. You can marry anywhere in Nigeria. Yeah. You can also marry anywhere in the world actually, but it just means the things that need to be given to you.
What are the advantages of the court marriage that we are ignorant about? Like
I said to you, the marriage under the court marriage is the one recognized by the Marriage Act.
Okay.
So that means that's the one that would flow with the law of succession. You understand? For example, if somebody dies without a will, and the person, the court wants to, they want to get letters of administration for the person, they will consider the rules of the wife, because there are laws in the Marriage Act that talks about who succeeds who. You understand? Whereas if it is you do it a traditional wedding, you have to submit to the customary law, which is can be if it's Yoruba, Idigi or Oriojori. You understand? Oriojori means every child inherits equally. Idigi means the mother
who is the first
yes.
wife, second wife.
Not all the wives. They can either decide to take per your mother. That's the Idigi system. So that's but for customary for court weddings, the wife is the recognized successor and the children. So even if you don't have a will, when they want to get letters of administration from the probate registry, these are the things that they will look out for. You can't just come and say, I'm the next of kin, my name is on the pension. So no, they will look at and look out for your wife and your children under the court law.
Okay.
You understand? So even if you write a will that negates and say, oh, all my wealth and my property should go to my sister, when you have a wife and children. You can contest it and go to court and say, it can't possibly be because he has it, and the court will protect the family. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the disadvantages of court marriage that Nigerians are not privy to know?
Well, the disadvantages are very minimal in the sense that a lot of people think that if you don't do court wedding, then you can marry as many wives as you like. Yes, I guess in the customary law, depending on the custom you are subject to, yes, you can marry as many.
Customary religion.
But if you have one to get married in the court, it is one of the questions they will ask you. Have you been previously married customarily too? People think that, yes, people think that if I just marry by law and marry one by customs, I'm okay. You know,
okay,
you have celebrities even doing that.
I want to ask this customary. Now, it's just like mommy moe.
No,
family. It's properly done.
Yes, what we call ishiloka.
But is there a certificate that is being issued? Because I want to believe it's just you having your family, you know, going to the wife's family, going to the husband's family, coming together.
So there's evidence of that now.
Yeah,
with your pictures, with your with eyewitnesses to that event. That will say, okay, we know when they brought this number of yam to me, they brought a jalson, they brought gave me a hand. So they have all that. So we're having all that. They cannot deny. That's why you have some customs you say return the bride price. But if it is only customary, if the custom says you have to return the bride price if we're dissolving, yeah. Well, for example, I mean, I will say little knowledge of Sharia law. To divorce is you go there and you say a certain word 3 times, and that means you divorced from. So there are different things that would work in that favor. So certificates, no, I am not aware that they do give. But if they approach the customary court to say we are married and we want to an affidavit to evidence that this marriage occurred on this day, and we have, and that becomes the documentary evidence of that customary.
Do you think that court marriages have been abused? And if yes, what's the way forward? Because I feel like you said something which is vital. You said once you've had that in church, you don't have to go to the court or to the registry. But some people feel like they will do the white, they will do the customary, they will still sign the court, this thing, and still go to. So do you think it's been abused?
I wouldn't say it has been abused. I would say that people want to err on the part of caution, so they are over, compensating. So this is the procedure for court wedding. You go, you apply. When you go, you apply, you fill all that information. Then they take it. Then they would post your ban, which is a caution, to say these people want to get married. If anybody has anything against their marriage, please appear in 21 days.
Do they still do that?
Oh yes, yes.
The picture of the husband to be at the white.
Yes. Oh, they do. They don't put it in the newspaper. Okay. So no, because that's an unnecessary expense for the couple. Why should they have to? Yes. Or the local government where they're going to get married, it is posted there. And then in the church, in the licensed worship place where they want to get married to, they post the bans, and that's why the church will announce it 3 times.
Okay.
And that's 3 weeks. That makes up for the 21 days we're talking about. You understand? So they posted it on their bulletin in the church, and they announced it in church for 3 weeks, so that anybody who has anything would now state it and say. So once you've overcome that, then you come and then you either tell them if it is a church that is licensed that you're doing it. Don't forget, it's about licensed place of worship. Many churches don't go to the rigors of registering to be a place where you can celebrate marriage. We call it celebration of marriage. So for Christians that want to be tied under God and man, they would want to still do it in church. And they want it to be the whole process and ceremony. But at best, that is a church blessing. Yes, if they are not licensed to marry, to celebrate marriages, it is a church blessing. So that's why, to err on the part of caution, they will go the whole length of the registry. They will go to what they call it oath taking. That is, they are getting married. And then they have to have witnesses. So that is the marriage for them. Then they will still do the marriage ceremony in the church, whether their church is licensed
Just
to
like
celebrate
church blessing.
marriages or not. But
some
some
churches give issue certificate to their destiny.
I don't forget at the beginning I said that some churches are licensed, and some churches that are not licensed, they still give certificates. Yes, I know. They give certificates to say it was conducted here. Like you pass through a school, you pass through, churches will conduct pre-marriage counseling and everything. So they won't say, okay, after you did this exam, and now this is your certificate. But if you notice the certificate they give, is that just
to show that.
Yes, it's not in the one given to you by a licensed place of celebration of marriage is in 3 parts. Because when they finish signing, that's why your parents will come, whoever your witnesses are, will come out. That's when you hear if it's in the church, they're dancing and people, everybody just saying, and then the parents come forward, the groom and the bride will sign, then the witnesses will sign on both sides. When they finish signing, they sign in 3 parts. That's why it takes so long. When they finish signing the 3 parts, 1 part belongs to the couple, 1 part belongs to the church. The last part has to be taken back to the local government or to the marriage registry where you registered, where you applied. So there is a beginning application form. They give you a second form. There are licenses to go get married. Or you can do it there at the registry, which is cheaper. The reason, one of the advantages of registry wedding, it is cheaper.
It is.
If you are okay with, you don't want the paparazzi and the
noise.
It is fine. You just do it. Officially, many of the fees don't even pass 50,000. There are unofficial fees, of course. This is Nigeria. But,
this is Nigeria.
But the main thing to do, you can easily do it under 100,000, under 50,000.
Okay. And right now we want to join our Zoom guests. We've been talking about pros and cons of marriage. Okay? Court marriage, precisely. Hello, sir. Good morning. Barrister Emmanuel Omata, are you there?
Good morning, ma'am.
Barrister, good morning. Hi, good
Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning, Nalenet Kali.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so Barrister Emmanuel Omata is a legal practitioner and advocate and solicitor, Supreme Court of Nigeria. He's joining us live from Abuja. And it's so good to have you this morning. My first question to you is this. What can you explain to us what is prenuptial agreement in full?
Yes, prenup is an agreement that will be couple, husband and wife that want to get married, will come together and sign an agreement. Maybe you say, okay, if you get married to me for the next 10 to 20 years and there is no divorce, by the time you want to divorce, I will pay you so amount, or if you divorce within so years, you pay me so amount. So the essence of prenup is just to safeguard the marriage for a certain duration.
Okay, Barrister, still on prenup, let me ask, do we practice it here in Nigeria, and are there laws for anyone that defaults? Can one take up the other partner if the partner defaults on prenup agreements?
Yes, you can take up the other party. It's an agreement that is binding on both partners for the duration of the marriage. So anyone who default doing that default before the duration of the stipulated time for the prenup, the other party can go to court for redress, and you get entitled to compensation, the entire sum of the prenup.
I want to ask this. You know, before now, when I was growing up, and I hear prenup, prenup, and you see this rich man or this rich lady, you have to sign this prenup. It's very important. You have to do this. Now, why is it always very important, or something that someone who is an elite or a rich or wealthy person marrying to a low class or middle class will always want to sign this prenup? Because the way you explain it now, I think there is more. You understand? So I don't know if you can help out. Someone who is wealthy getting married to someone who is of middle class or low class who wants that other person to sign a prenup. Why?
Yes, the essence of that, why some people who go into that prenup is maybe a wealthy man can get married to somebody from the low class, or a low class lady can get married to a wealthy man just to boost his image or her image or the brand. Some do it just for social status or something else, just to boost, maybe just for one particular purpose. He or she might have a reason behind getting married to the person. And the person might feel, okay, if I get married to this person, the person has certain character, certain attributes, or certain behavior which he or she do exhibit. And he might say, okay, the essence of the prenup is if you get married to me within the next, if we get married and we stay married for the next 10 years, you don't drink, you don't engage in social vices, or you don't engage in any scandal, you can get married to me for the next 10 years and there's no scandal. And after the 10 years, when you want to divorce me, I can pay you so amount for you to go. Or if you engage in any scandal within that time frame, you must compensate the other party. That is the essence of prenup, just to avoid scandal or any dent on the reputation of the other party.
Okay, Barrister, I'd like to take you back to our court marriages. Do you think that the Nigerian courts obey the Marriage Act as individuals approach courts sometimes for settlement, and then you see these cases go on over and over and over again? It takes a longer time. Do you think that Nigerian courts itself obey those laws that are being put in place by them?
Yes, Nigeria courts do obey them. Nigeria courts obey the law. Because one, divorce proceedings are based on the Marriage Act and Matrimonial Causes Act and rules. So anything contrary to that, the court cannot go outside the scope of the law or acts establishing an act. So you cannot go contrary to the rule or act.
Okay, so Barrister, I want to ask. You are in Abuja. Thank God you are in Abuja. Do we have a court marriage, as in a local government like we have here in Lagos, where you have Ikoyi registry, basically overseeing major people, majority of the new couples, people want to get married, rather want to go to Ikoyi registry, or because, okay, so that my papers, in case I want to travel, will be easy and accessible and all that. Do you have one like that in Abuja, or all the local governments are accepted and valid?
Yes, in Abuja we have Almark. Most people in Abuja, before the establishment of the Federal Marriage Registry, which is in Area 10 to just some kilometers, so adjacent Almark Marriage Registry. Almark Marriage Registry is the local government in Abuja. So most people within Abuja, Almark, even within Abuja, they either come to Almark Marriage Registry, which is in Area 10, or somewhere in the area council. Some go to Gwagwalada. There's marriage registry in Gwagwalada area council. There's marriage registry in Buari area council. But now, because of the issue that was about who has the authority or the license to conduct marriages, in Nigeria because of a court case. So most people have now started going to Federal Marriage Registry, which is just some few kilometers from the Almac Marriage Registry in Area 10, Almac Area Council, where the marriage registry is domiciled.
Is that not being one-sided? Because Nigeria is so big. I have many local governments in each state. Now, focusing on just one particular local government to be the accredited, quote and unquote, to conduct a marriage registry.
Let me cut it short.
What is
that issue of Abuja, the Almac,
what are we doing?
all the area council,
the legal practice,
all the area councils, and all the area councils. Sorry, let me cut it short.
Everyone have access to go to any local government as long as the local government is being created by the federal government and under the state. Why can't all?
No, you are free. You are free to go to any of the area local government. Like in Abuja, we don't have local government. What we have is area council. So you are free to go to any local government council of your choice to conduct your marriage as long as they have a marriage registry in that local government. Like in Abuja here, I know of the marriage registry in Gwagwalada Area Council. I know of the one in Buhari Area Council. I know the one of Almac Area Council. So people goes there. If you go there, like if you go there this morning now, you see people still going there for marriage to conduct their registry marriage, which is court marriage in the popular parlance in Nigeria here. So there's no law stipulating that one should you can only go to the nearest area council or local government closer to you. So for ease of logistics, so you can go to the nearest to you to conduct your marriage registry.
Let me talk about Lagos State now. It's not just here because we are in Lagos State. It is believed that if you don't do your marriage at Ikoyi registry, your certificate is not recognized. And I'm saying this due to overall view of people. In fact, if you go there, the number of people you see there can't be compared to others. Now, is there a reason for that? Is it that when you're filing for documents, there is a preference that, okay, this is Ikoyi, or this is different, or this is federal, this is state? Because I know that in my state, I'm not sure that even the typical local government I come from have people come around to do their marriages. Everybody wants to go to Ikoyi. It must be, in fact, let it be written, let them see that Ikoyi registry. Yeah. Is there something that, why is that prevalent? Or why, if there is nothing to it, why has there not been proper awareness to let people know that you don't need to go to a particular place, all in quotes, to do your marriage? You can as well patronize it, because I feel like everybody's neglecting the minimal local government and just wanting to go to Ikoyi. The crowd over there can be compared Monday to Saturday. It's something else. Is there a reason for that, and what are you doing?
Can I answer that? Okay, so
you know the reason.
Okay, did you want to say something, my friend?
Okay, go ahead, friend.
Okay, thank you. So for Lagos, and in fact the entirety of Nigeria, I would say, it's about mindset. It's about, the same way we would go for an imported goods over a locally produced goods. That's the same thing that's happening with the marriage. Now, yes, the only thing there is that federal marriage registry, it is one. And for people who want to travel, like Olori said, it has to be certified or verified by the registry that got married to you. So for the embassies and the consulates, I think the major problem is, how do I ensure that this is authentic, this marriage certificate is authentic? So they have to send it back to, and if it's an obscure local government, it might prove difficult for them, or you can just use any local government around. They rather believe that with the federal might, the authenticity is more assured. But it really doesn't mean that they won't accept from any other local government. Now, as to campaigning and aware, that was why that case that my learned colleague mentioned was brought up. Because why won't my marriage concerning another local government registry be acknowledged? So that case came up. Unfortunately, even with that case, people still, even when there was even an outcry to say, if you were married in the Ikoyi registry, your marriage is not valid and everything. But they were able, because the Marriage Act covers them, and that's why we still have the case will still have, and people can still go there. So both of them can. So when you're giving people a choice, they'll go for the one they believe that would, even though local governments in different local government marriage registries are cheaper, easier. It's like he said, the one close to you, just go there, you register, and it's even easier because people that know you can see the bans that are posted. But people would do what they once they have a choice, they have free will. You can't force them. You can campaign. The local governments can come up with more enticing ways to get people to recognize them. I think they too, they are a bit relaxed as to fighting for that thing. They don't. You shouldn't just come up. You have competition, healthy competition. So make it work. Go on and let them know that I've been in a state where I saw the marriage local government advertising that your marriage. So yeah, they should do that also because they make money from it.
Okay. I want to say thank you to Barrister Emmanuel Amato. Thank you so very much for joining us. It's so good to have you. We hope to see you soon, anytime now on Family and Values. Okay, I want to ask this before while we're rounding up. Yeah. While we're rounding up, I want to ask this question. Divorce, separation, what does it entail? You were saying something that the fact that you have the customary put it together and somebody brought divorce papers and you sign it and you say, okay, I've divorced you, I separated you. That's not the end of it. What other thing do I need to, not me, do the person need to go through
about divorce?
Yeah, divorce and separation too.
Okay. Like my colleague said, the law that covers divorce and separation and dissolution of marriage is the Matrimonial Causes Act. And there's basically only one reason why you divorce or you dissolve a marriage under the act, and that is irretrievable breakdown of marriage. That means irretrievably you can't bring it back together. Both parties have decided. Now, whatever facts or points they give, that's different. You understand? They can say he was abusive, he was adultery, but what it means is that every fact that you have has led to this one factor which makes the marriage broken down, and irretrievably so. So if you say it's irretrievably broken down, then you need to get a lawyer or you need to go to court yourself and file papers to say, I want to divorce. Now, why I said it's not a matter of just get papers and take it to the other person and sign, is there are many rules. Like you have cases, they give you different levels to which your divorce can occur. Yes, it's that it has irrevocably broken down, but then are you people still living together? Do you have the consent of the person? If you have the consent of the person after being separated for 2 years, maybe you're not living up, you've been living apart for 2 years, and you have the other person's consent that I don't want to marry you again, then you people would come to court and it will be a consensual dissolution of marriage. If you've been living for 3 years apart, then you can. If the person deserted you for more than 5 years, you can go to court and apply. But you will still have to appear in court. Make your case. Your lawyer will there. It will just be the length of time it will take. Like you were mentioning, that why does it take so long? Usually, what makes a divorce proceeding long is where children are involved, where property disputes are involved. Do you understand? So we're disputing that I want the children, I want custody of the children, and you say you want custody of the children. So we have to go, a court has to adjudicate on that and say what's the best interest for the children. Then also, I want to divorce you, I don't want to mother again, I want my children. But you say I'm entitled to some alimony, to something to maintain myself, maintenance, even though you are taking the children, but still you married me on this social aspect and this is the reason why, you know. Or the woman has the custody of the children and needs maintenance and needs child care. You need to adequately provide for the welfare of the children at every given point. So when there's children involved and people, you know, they will always, I want this. It comes down even to choosing schools for them, kind of food they eat. Some people will even determine the religion. You know, sometimes a Muslim can marry a Christian and they are okay by themselves, but then when they want to divorce, they say, no, my children must do this religion, my children must do this religion, you know. So all those things are what complicates divorce proceedings. Now, the other thing is that they have to, once you file, and you say, we've been separated for 3 years, and the person is not even contesting. If they don't see the other party, they can't dissolve the marriage. So, incoming, some of the people have been separated. They don't know where the other party is. They don't even care. They don't want to know. But you need to serve the other person. You need to provide the address for service. So you need to now, when you provide the address for service, the person has to be served. The person has to be given an opportunity to come and say his own side. That's fair hearing. Come and say his own side of the case. Oh, it's not true. The marriage is not broken down. We still had sexual intercourse each other day, and we are still doing all right. I still gave you money, even though the reason why we're separated is because I have to work outside of the country. You understand? Or anything can happen. Then the other bit is, even after all said and done, and the court has realized that it has broken down irretrievably, it's not instant. The first stage is to get a decree nisi. That is an interim, like an interim order saying this marriage is over. And then 3 months after, you have to get a decree absolute, which now permits you to be free of the man. Now, between decree nisi and decree absolute, you can't remarry.
Hey.
Yes, you can. If you remarry, you are committing adultery and bigamy, and you can be criminally responsible.
Just know that you see, coming together you may find it very easy, but separating yourself, it's not as easy as you see it.
Which is why the court is always, and even the law is always favoring of reconciliation. We always will pursue and say, can you forget about this file?
I'm sure Barrister still has a lot to teach us and to open our eyes to know and to see when it comes to the pros and cons of court marriage. And I know, and I'm very sure, as the Lord liveth, we are going to bring her back and we'll go deeper when it has to do with marriage, the type of marriage, the things that comes with it, just like we just discussed today. I want to say a big thank you, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.